Hello everyone. Hi. I welcome you all to another lecture with Zenith Academy Online. I am Shravika Jamnik and I am going to be your teacher for today. Today we are going to learn about something that we all love, food, and also how to maintain our health. So let's begin. What are the functions of food? Food helps in the growth and repair of our body. Food gives us energy to do our daily work. Without food, we won't have any energy to do all the work that we do. We need food to sustain ourselves. Food protects us from various diseases. Food is responsible for protecting us from all the different diseases present in the world. Let's now see which component of food helps in what. So for energy giving, the component responsible is carbohydrate, and along with carbohydrate there's also fats. So for energy we require carbohydrates and fats. For bodybuilding we require proteins. The protective component of food is called our vitamins and minerals. Now let's learn about these components. The first one is carbohydrates and fats. As I mentioned, they give us energy. So all the foods that are rich in carbohydrates should be consumed when you are low on your energy. Fats give more energy than carbohydrates. So consider this, not only carbohydrates, fats also give us energy. In fact, fats give us more energy than carbohydrates. Fats are stored in our body and keep us warm. So fats form a layer on our body, and this layer then helps us in being warm. When we do a lot of exercise, we lose this fat as well. What are the sources of carbohydrates and fats? Potato, there's rice, breads, fruit, ghee, butter and cream, dry fruits and oil. What was the next component of food? It was proteins. So proteins, they are known as the body building components of food, very essential for our growth, proper growth. Correct, they are important for our growth. They help in repair of our body. So anytime you have fallen sick or you have fallen down, proteins, you should consume more proteins because they help in the repair of our body. The sources are pulses, milk, fish, meat, curd, eggs, and in the pictures here you can see also broccoli. Okay, so broccoli is another good source of proteins. The next component is vitamins and minerals. They protect us against infections. That is why during the time of COVID-19, we are asked to consume as many vitamins as we can. They help to fight diseases. So, what is the function of vitamins? They help in the normal functioning of our body. They keep our body healthy. And if we are healthy, all the functions in our body will be performed naturally and normally. Minerals. It is very helpful for development of bones and teeth. There are different types of vitamins. There is vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C and vitamin D. Now let's see the sources. We can find vitamins in vegetables, fruits and milk. So make sure you consume all of this. Now let's learn about water. We were talking about food. Then how did we suddenly switch to water? Let's find out. So water is 70% of our body weight. So 70% of our body weight is water. It helps in digestion of food. We need water because after consuming all the food, we need water to digest it. Can you see here? This is how the food is churned in our stomach. But for that, we need water as well. It acts as a medium for various processes that occur in the body. It helps in removal of waste. So whatever waste is present in our body, water will take it and it will remove the waste in the form of sweat and in the form of urine. So sweating, it helps in removal of waste. That's why you should drink a lot of water all the time. It maintains our body temperature. Every time we are feeling hot, we should drink water because water maintains our body temperature. It does not let our body get very hot or very cold. It keeps our body hydrated, and being hydrated all the time is also very important because water is required to carry out all the processes in our body, most of the processes, and if all the processes are carried out normally, then our body will also function normally. Next is roughage. Some people also call it as roughage. So let's learn about it. It is the fiber present in food that remains undigested. It's found in pulses, cereals, and leafy vegetables such as cabbage and spinach. So all these food that's very rich in fiber makes the roughage. So all the salad that you eat, it is essentially a lot of roughage. Now what is the function of roughage? It adds bulk to food and helps in digestion. It prevents constipation. So constipation is a problem in many people, and for that is the reason that we are always advised to eat as many fibers as we can, and roughage is what fibers in our food is. It helps in better bowel movements and it keeps our digestive system healthy. So I have put this here for showing better bowel movements. If there's a lot of fiber in our body, it helps in better bowel movements. It also keeps our digestive system healthy. Okay, now let's move on to a balanced diet. The state of complete physical and mental well-being is known as health. And a diet that contains all necessary components, water and roughage in adequate amounts for the proper functioning of our body is known as a balanced diet. We need all the components of food that we saw before to stay healthy. And what were these components? They were proteins, vitamins, minerals, and carbohydrates and fats. And we saw the sources of all these components. So, what should you have in your diet? You should have a dairy product every day. It can be milk, it can be butter, cheese, or ghee. You have to consume at least one fruit. I hope you know the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So fruits also have a lot of things that are essential to be healthy. So consume as many fruits as you can. Vegetables, of course, every day you have to consume vegetables. There's rice and chapati. These are grains and beans and pulses. The wheat is a grain, rice is a grain, so this is grain and these are pulses. So I hope you all maintain a balanced diet and stay fit and healthy. Now what else can you do to stay healthy? apart from eating a balanced diet. You can exercise properly because that helps you in staying fit and maintains a proper blood circulation. Also, please maintain a proper posture, and if you can, go for morning walks and evening walks and drink a lot of water. If you don't do all these things, you can fall sick, and that can allow the entrance of certain diseases. Let's see what diseases are. A disease is defined as a condition due to which the body is unable to function properly. So naturally, if you're ill or if you've got a disease, you will feel weak and you will be unable to work because you'll be so low on energy. And let's see, there are two types of diseases. These are communicable and non-communicable. The name suggests what it is, right? So communicable are those diseases that are transmitted from a sick person to a healthy person. Basically, communicable means a disease that is transferable, and non-communicable means it cannot be communicated from one person to other. Now let's learn about non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases can occur due to deficiency of certain things. So if you have a deficiency of certain vitamins or certain minerals, then you can have these non-communicable diseases. Let's see. The first disease we are going to learn about is night blindness. It is caused by deficiency of vitamin A. Inability to see clearly in dim light, night blindness. When it turns night or when it is dark, the person is unable to see clearly. And what you can do, the sources are green leafy vegetables, carrots and milk. So now to remember all these diseases and what is caused by, remember it as beriberi is a disease that is caused by deficiency of vitamin B. Scurvy, which has a C, the second letter C, is caused by deficiency of vitamin C. Beriberi starts with B, so it's vitamin B. Rickets, now you have to remember what happens in rickets. Softening of bones and bending of bones. So we always hear that vitamin D is very important for keeping our bones strong. So remember, rickets will cause softening of bones, and this happens due to deficiency of vitamin D. Now you can remember beriberi, scurvy and rickets, and what remains is night blindness. So night blindness is vitamin A. Now let's see what these diseases cause. Beriberi causes problem in digestion. You can have milk, eggs and cereals for this. Scurvy causes bleeding and swollen gums. So for this you have to have sour foods, that's lemon, orange and amla. Rickets, vitamin D, as I mentioned before, causes softening of bones and bending of bones. You can have milk and milk products for it. Now for the minerals, okay, deficiency in minerals, there's iron, iodine and calcium and phosphorus. Calcium and phosphorus similar to vitamin D. So the last thing here and the last thing here, that's vitamin D and related with calcium and phosphorus, and it will cause weak bones and teeth. Symptoms are unhealthy and weak bones. Again, for weak bones, here you have milk and milk products. Here also you will have milk, but along with milk you will need green leafy vegetables. Now what remains? Anemia and goiter. For anemia, there is a deficiency in iron, and goiter, there is deficiency of iodine. Now, anemia, it causes weakness, lethargy, dark circles around eyes, loss of appetite. Loss of appetite means you don't feel like eating anymore. Then sources are green vegetables and meat, and for goiter, it's seafood and salt. So you must have noticed when there's an advertisement of salt, it always says that when they advertise, they say that this salt is rich in iodine and it doesn't cause goiter. So if you remember this one thing, goiter, iodine, and salt, then everything you will be able to learn everything, and what remains is anemia, and that's caused by deficiency of iron. So please try to remember it. Beriberi, vitamin B, problems in digestion. Scurvy, vitamin C, bleeding and swollen gums. Rickets, vitamin D, softening of bones. And what remains is vitamin A. The disease is night blindness. Weak bones and teeth, the deficiency, vitamin similar to vitamin D, calcium and phosphorus. Have milk and green leafy vegetables for it. Iodine present in salt and it causes goiter. Anemia is caused by deficiency of iron. So please try to learn this table. It's very important for you. Now let's move to the communicable diseases. Communicable diseases, as the name suggests, they will be transferred from one person to another, from a sick person to a healthy person. These can be transferred from the air, if the person coughs or sneezes. It can be caused from food and water. So if some person is infected, try not to eat their food and do not drink unclean water. And there's animals and insects like mosquitoes can also carry these germs, okay, that can transmit communicable diseases. First disease is malaria. Malaria, I hope you all know, it is caused by bite of a mosquito. The symptoms are there's headache, there's high fever, nausea. Nausea means you feel like vomiting or you feel like you're going to faint. There's muscular pain, headache, nose discharge. Oh, I'm sorry. So for malaria, the symptoms are headache, nausea, high fever, muscular pain, and the mode of transmission is bite of mosquito. I hope you all know this. Preventative measures, use of insect repellents and clean surroundings. Influenza, this is another disease very common. Whenever we say viral, it's usually influenza, the viral fever. There's headache, nose discharge, high fever, muscular pain, cough and sneezing. So if it's a viral fever, it's through the air. You can prevent it by staying away from infected person and good sanitation. Good sanitation means washing your hands very regularly, drinking clean water, boiled water, and keeping your household very clear. Even your milk should be boiled before consuming it. You should have clean handkerchiefs with you at all times. That is good sanitation. Another disease, cholera. Cholera means the symptoms are watery stool, that is dysentery. There's vomiting and sunken eyes. Also, along with watery stool. The mode of transmission is it can be caused by flies or contaminated food and water. Flies, contaminated food and water. The preventive measures are practicing personal hygiene, good sanitation, drinking boiled water. Typhoid, our fourth disease. Symptoms are fever and headache, and it can happen due to flies and contaminated food and water. So flies often do this, they sit on a dirty area and then they come and sit on our food. So we should never allow that to happen. We should always cover our food. Practicing personal hygiene, good sanitation, and drinking boiled water. Again, keep your hands clean, wash your hands before eating, use clean handkerchiefs, boil your milk before drinking it, clean all your utensils properly, and please don't go near an infected person. I hope these diseases are clear along with all the components of food that we studied. If you like today's video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for being very patient and listening. I hope this chapter is clear to you. If you have any doubts, please put your questions in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye bye.